What's going on, everybody? Rob Doster here from the Field of 68. And today we're going to bring you another episode in our NBA Draft Prospect Profile series. These are going to be dropping throughout May and throughout June, a couple a day. So if you do like this content, make sure you subscribe to the channel and do hit that like button. Anything that you can do to interact with these videos, it really does help the channel. It helps more people like you find this content. And since I have you here, make sure you check out our Instagram and TikTok pages. We are going to be pumping out more unique content over there throughout the spring and the summer heading into the 2022-23 college basketball season. Like, for example, did you know that Penny Hardaway was shot when he was in college? I didn't know that. You can find that story right now live on our TikTok and Instagram pages. The links for those are in the description below. So without further ado, let's get into another Field of 68 NBA Draft Prospect Profile.
All right, welcome to the Field of 68's NBA Draft 2022 Prospect Profiles, where we do a deep dive into each of the top players that will be in this year's NBA Draft. I'm Stadium's insider Jeff Goodman. He is former Wake Forest star Randolph Childress, and we are today breaking down another one of the Duke Blue Devils, not Paolo Banchero, not AJ Griffin, not Mark Williams, not Trevor Keels, but Wendell Moore, the veteran of the group, right? The veteran, the junior of the group, the guy who came out of the gates and surprised everybody this season. In fact, I think you would say for the first 10 games of the year, he might have been the best player on that Duke team and one of the best players in the country. 6'5", about 215, kind of a power guard, I guess, but not power, some finesse. Again, averaged about 13.5 points a game, 5 rebounds a game, 4.5 assists a game. Shot it very well from 3 this year, which was not the scouting report on him the first 2 years. In fact, his first 2 years at Duke, he wasn't great. And he broke out this year, RC. And how do you describe Wendell Moore's game to somebody who hasn't seen him?
I'm a huge fan of his. And like you said, coming out the gate, he was Duke's best player early on. I'm a big fan of him because he's a kid that he reminds me of. He's in a sense that he's different from Ochai because they're similar in their size and everything. He's different because he did come in. He's USA basketball. He's a highly recruited, big time prospect coming in, and he didn't live up to the expectations early on. But man, did he make up for it? He developed at his own time, his own pace. He went back to school like some of these guys I think should have, and he went back and he turned himself into a player. And he has a 2nd-round grade right now. I love him. I would, if I'm in the late 20s, I would consider him because and I made the Ochai comparison because I know what I'm getting out of him and I'm intrigued by it. I'm getting a 6'5" guard, nice frame, better ball skills though. And you're going to be able to put him in pick and roll situations. So he's a guy that embraces, hey, let me guard the best offensive guy on the other side. He developed into a guy that shot he didn't shoot a ton of threes, but he's made 41% to the point where you can't leave him open. So he falls into that 3-and-D guy, but he has the ability to be a backup guard that you can put in a secondary ball handler or a primary ball handler as a backup PG, put the ball in his hand. He was the closer for that group. We say what we want about Duke. They put the balls when late game, up 1, we got to get somebody to get the ball in their hands to go make free throws at the end. They talk about all these other highly rated guys. It was Wendell Moore. Wendell Moore was the guy like, hey, take us home. And we talked about, Roach and those guys expecting him to take a step. There's a reason that, Coach K felt comfortable giving this guy the ball, saying, take us home. He was a 2nd leading scorer at over 13 a game. Really strong offensive rebounder for a guard. I mean, if he was playing more at the wing, was an elite doing. I think he could get you, 3 to 4 of those a night if he did. He was playing a point, so he got back. I just love that about him because when everything breaks down, you can give him the ball and put him in a ball screen and go make a play for you. And there's not a lot of these guys.
I agree. The versatility's there. I just wonder whether the shot's going to be there. And if it's not, what is he? How does he stick if he doesn't shoot the ball well enough? Because the first couple of years he did not shoot the ball great.
Right.
So was this kind of an aberration? Like, is this him shooting 40+% from three?
Well, what this is what we talked about earlier. It's one of the things that you can spend time working on and improve on as you get to the next level. What you can't teach is you got a guy that's saying, hey, Jeff Goodman is the best player on the other side. I got Jeff. That, like, he's that guy. I want to be defensive player of the year. And, you know, his teammate got it, but he was the guy saying, hey, let me guard the other team's best offensive player. He's coming in with that mentality. That's not going to change. I don't think he's a 41% guy, but again, he's going to be a guy that can create off the bounce. He can do that, distribute the ball movement. Even if he drops in the 30s, that's fine. What you've seen is just a steady progression of improvement in this game to the point now he's developed that shot. And then once he did that, then it just opened up the floor. He still shot 50% from the floor. It just shows he knows what he is. And there's value in that. Knowing what you are, he's going to be able to come in off the bench. And again, we're not talking lottery, we're not talking top 10, but you get in the 20s, you get past 25. I want to know what I'm getting. And those are playoff teams. So what one of these teams couldn't use a 6'5" guard that can make a three that you can put on the other team's best player? And that's what he wants to do. That can come off a ball screen and find guys. I think a lot of teams will sign up for that where they don't have to invest millions in a lottery.
And I think he can switch on multiple guys. That's the benefit of having him too. Is, you know, he's 6'5", right?
Yes.
You could play him at the 1.
Yes.
If he does shoot it well enough, you could play him at the 2. He can play the wing, like either spot. He can guard 1, 2, 3s, no problem. I like him. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I like him. I'm just not quite sold I'd take him in the 20s.
Right.
Over some of the other guys. It depends who's there at that point. I think you know what you're getting with Wendell Moore, right? For the most part, you know what you're going to get. The upside, I don't even know if he's an NBA starter. I think he's probably a second unit guy for his career, but a very reliable second unit player for a good team. Like, that's what you could see him as, you know, very different players than this guy, but like another former Duke player like a Tyus Jones, you just know what you're going to get out of Tyus Jones every time he takes the court, right? I feel like with Wendell Moore, that's what he's become. You know what you're going to get for the most part. He's going to make open shots. He's going to make the right decisions. He's going to guard people. So I like him. I think he goes somewhere in that 25 to 40 range, and I'm fine with that.
And the reason I say late 20s, like we're talking about, is because, again, we're talking about a team that we're getting into that realm of teams that's going to lose in the conference finals, right? We're talking about teams that are still playing right now. And he fits that mold. You start looking at these teams, all these teams got these 6'5", 6'6", 6'8" wings that can defend, that's long, that's defensive guys. Every roster has them.
Yeah. And
if they don't, they're starving for them. They're looking for them. And there's teams that are not so good that are saying, all right, like you look at a team, I throw it out there. We take a team like Minnesota, right? Yeah. I've got my stars. I just need I need 3-and-D guys to come in there and say, hey, I got my main guys. I need size. I need guys that play off these guys that can knock down open shots.
High IQ guys.
IQ guys move the ball that knows, hey, you're getting the ball to the big fella. Right. You're getting out of Ant Williams, getting out of Big Ant's way. You're just playing off those guys. If they kick it to you, shoot it. If not, you're creating and you're defending and freeing them up to be the offensive guys that they are. There's teams like that, and that's why I say when you get past in the late 20s, it's about, hey, you're talking about taking the next step. They don't need another offensive guy to come in there to try to make all these adjustments. They need, hey, if that guy come in here and defend, knock down open shots, I know what I'm getting out of that. That's what I want. And I like you said, that's the value with a guy like him, late 20s. If he falls in the second round, I don't see him going past the first 5 picks in the second round. Somebody will snatch him up quick.
Yeah, Wendell Moore certainly had a huge year this year for Duke. His junior season comes out and is a guy that probably will go somewhere either late first round, early second round, but can be a really valuable piece. Again, for a winning team, that's probably where he'll be at his best. I'm Stadium Insider Jeff Goodman. He is former Wake star Randolph Childress. Thanks for joining us here. Field of 68. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you watch us on Twitter. And we'll have profiles on every single player this year for the NBA draft. So thanks for joining us.